Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Boilerside podcast. It is me, Plippy McGee. We have a new year, a fresh new year, a sexy new year, a hip and happening new year. With me, as always, is the Gamer of Ages.
Oh, hello.
As always, we have Roy Carback. Well, not as always, but you know what I mean.
Here.
Yeah. We have Tarson, aka Civilian Sky. Hello.
Hi.
Excited as always. And, of course, Dr. Evil of Gaming.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. So we've got a new year. It's a fresh new year. This is supposed to be last week's show, but no one turned up.
You mean we reset current year?
We've reset the current year. It is the brand new current year.
Yeah, it's now the
It's
current
the Fresh
year.
Prince of New Year.
It is the newest of New Years.
It
It's
is
the
now
Fresh
the
Prince of New Year.
27th. It is now the 2017th edition of the current year.
Yes, it is. Not counting BC. As we look down towards the end of the year, we look down the barrel of the gun, which is Donald Trump. It could be a bullet, or it could be a tasty pie. We don't know what's going to come out of that barrel, but
Could be all three.
It's a pie. It may not be tasty, but it will be a pie.
okay.
I think it will probably just be. It'll probably be a blank.
It'll either be a pie in the face or some. I don't have much respect for Trump. Never have.
Mm.
But he was an anvil vote. He was the vast majority of the nation's area, except for California, who said, "Hey,
New
you know
York.
what? You know what? Both of your parties stink on ice, and if this is the best raft of characters you can offer us, screw it. We'll take that guy."
Yeah, but why not? I mean, he's pretty much a Molotov cocktail, isn't he?
Right? Well, everybody wants to write a Mickey Mouse, but they know Mickey Mouse can't actually win. This time, Mickey Mouse was actually running.
Yeah, so they might as well do it. Although even then, people want a fucking Harambe.
Yeah.
Harambe, our Lord and Savior. in
Wasn't
heaven.
Trump involved in Harambe's assassination? Why didn't
Yes.
that win the election?
Yeah, why didn't that come out? Why did no one blame Harambe, Trump for Harambe?
Because the Russians suppressed the information.
I think the
course.
reason
Well,
is because they saw Harambe as a white supremacist meme, and as a result, they couldn't use Harambe.
Oh, yes, that's absolutely true.
But the Clinton campaign did go after D's nuts and and Sweet Meteor of Death. That was in the campaign literature. Don't vote for these.
I can't believe it. I still can't believe that.
Can you imagine if your campaign is basically, hey guys, vote for me, not the sweet, sweet death of a meteorite?
Oh, but we won't visit you in your home state, even though it's an essential battleground for me. We'll just expect you to.
Yeah.
Well, you have to remember,
hacking into Hillary Clinton's campaign schedule in the Rust Belt.
yeah, my favourite thing is the moment that Trump got the nomination, you could tell just Hillary was picking out curtains for the White House.
Yeah,
She went,
and
I'm just going to win, guys! I'm just going to win!
It's my turn.
I don't have to try.
Well, she certainly didn't. My favourite one of the entire election, I will say this before we'll move along from Trump, don't worry, guys, but
I think if there is a single word that would describe the past year, it would be entitlement.
Yeah,
And
Yes.
and we need to move on from that.
yeah. I mean,
yes.
it's basically this. I'd argue that Trump getting elected is just a kick in the nuts to any sort of those entitled people.
Yes.
It's a kick in the nuts for any politician ever.
Well, that's what I mean by entitled, basically, and
You
also
lost to
all
who?
these sort of elitist types. Like,
You
I mean,
lost to who?
you fucking like think about it. Think about it. They lost to
Everyone-
fucking Trump.
Everyone keeps saying it's like, oh, it was rigged. I was like, don't worry, Trump's going to lose. Trump's going to lose. And then Trump beats you, and your first thought is not, wow, maybe Hillary wasn't great.
It was rigged. Yeah. How the fuck do you lose to him?
He's an orange man with silly hair who keeps shouting. How do you lose to that?
Yeah. I mean,
The orangutan.
My favorite thing,
Yeah,
I will say that it was great when Hillary Clinton did that YouTube video where she basically shouts at everyone, why am I not winning?
Oh, that was amazing.
Why am I not,
Why am I not
100
50
ahead of
points
him?
ahead?
That was
Yes.
amazing. Actually, I will say I'll give some small credit to Trump. His any one of his speeches were actually entertaining. Like there was one bit I remember where he commented on on like the teleprompters. Because they overly rely on teleprompters. He said, "Oh, that teleprompter's been broken for the past half an hour." So I think my speech is just a little better as it is. So I'm just gonna go put that away now. So he steps away from the podium and just puts it off the stage. He's a character.
I think my favorite thing about Trump, what I like about Trump is that when he says things, then he explains it. We're going to have more money. That means we have more money in our bank account. We're going to have more peace. That means less violence. I just love the way he does that. I know people criticize him for that, but I like that about it.
Yeah,
I think this is probably what sums up the total disconnect in this country over the results. This right here that I'm screen sharing. They were all saying Trump's people are going to lose. They're going to be angry. There are going to be riots and torches and, lock her up and screaming and you got people with guns, rifles back there. And then what actually happened?
Yeah.
All of that stuff only from the other side.
Yeah, I will notice something. Let you see the week after the election cover there. Go back.
Oh, I'm
Share it
sorry.
again, please.
There you go. Boom.
I was commenting on it, so we needed that. Yeah. I don't want to be that guy. But do you notice something about all these people?
What?
And all middle-aged, at most. At the very least, all these people.
White.
Oh yeah, they're white. They're all.
Remember.
Actually, I just noticed. Actually, if you look at the very sort of left part, I think there is a black guy.
No.
How will Trump's followers react if they think it's stolen? Well, apparently, this is how they'll react.
Mm-hmm. I don't. It's just that my favorite thing is it was the same with Brexit. People said to me, no matter who loses, they're not going to shut up about it. Then their side lost, and they are right. They have not shut up to me about it. It's mob rule. It's like, shut up about your mob rule. This is the rules. We knew him going in. You thought you were going to win, and now you've lost. It's suddenly mob rule.
No, mob rule would be if you decide to overturn the rules in favor of whatever it is that you happen to want, which is what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Exactly. Jesus.
So anyway,
I mean,
okay, apparently not.
Well, I mean,
carry on.
Actually, one good thing. Actually, speaking about that fun, I've got a mate at work that's very much pro Remain, though he's not one of them rabid ones, which is nice. And he's slowly becoming more and more hateful of the EU.
Yeah.
I mean, then again, he's partially Greek, so.
I don't want to see that. I don't want to see people turning to, I now hate X. I don't want to see that. I want to see people realizing that what they've been talking about this whole time, maybe they need to rethink their philosophy.
Yeah, that's essentially what's happening with him. He is rethinking, and then he found out all the shitty things that actually, especially Germany, did to Greece. And how it led to his country being fucked up in right now. So,
I remember there was in Greece they had a huge vote to talk about their debt problem of how to deal with it, and they all voted to the default. I think they came into default, and the EU was like, nah.
Yeah, exactly. That's what that's the majority of what happened. There was a couple of big incidents. One was. When this is when they just joined the EU, so they, even though that their financials wasn't what it appeared, they did lie to the EU. I will give them that. They were still stable. So what they did, I know for a loan. So since they were doing it at a 1.5% interest, which it's actually fairly good. And then Germany steps in saying, "Oh no, you're not allowed to have that because you're in the EU. You have to trade with one of us."
Yeah.
So here's what Germany does. Want to hear what they do?
Go on.
Yeah, so they borrow from China at the exact same rate, and then loans to Greece that very same amount of money. And guess how much?
Now you're cutting in and out a bit.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But,
You didn't hear that, did you?
alright,
Yeah,
well,
it's like Germany going like, you can't cut that deal. We're going to cut it on your behalf and screw you over.
exactly.
Yeah. I think this is the way that people keep saying we need another referendum. It's like, guys, this is why people don't like the EU. It's like they vote on something, it doesn't go the way they want, so they just have another vote.
I thought this was a referendum, not a never-endum.
Yeah, actually,
I see what you did there.
Well,
Hey.
wasn't that exactly what everybody was told going in? That was the
Yes.
government position. One
Yep.
and done.
Yep. We actually had one before. We were back in the 70s or the 80s? Late 70s, when we agreed to stay. Then we did it again, and we voted to come out. So what we're going to do, we're going to hang around for another 20 years.
Well, the thing was, it was a common market back in the day. The idea was not to have this massive political union where everybody's regulating everybody else. It's like we want a common market to mutually assist each other's economies.
yeah, and even then, it wasn't known as the European Union.
Yeah.
It was just the European Economic
Common
Zone.
Market. Yeah.
Hmm.
The EEC. Or
Deal.
E.
But anyway, let's actually talk about some video games, guys.
Oh yeah. Let's talk about the new console that has people either really excited or really upset.
Game Revenges is really excited today, guys.
Wait.
I have neither of these things because so far I haven't seen enough on it worth buying.
I've seen.
Nintendo has finally gotten rid of the region locking, something I've wanted them to get rid of since, I guess, 2 generations back. A bit late, but at the very least, they're starting to progress to the modern era.
Yeah.
On the other hand, they're also now making us pay for online, like everyone else.
Well, I mean, it's bound to
They've
happen.
still maintained that they only need like 32 gigabyte of storage space.
Yeah.
I think
Wii U is not going to work for this. It's fucking annoying. They can clearly accommodate higher storage space on their consoles. They just choose to start with the smallest amount possible, and then with the Wii U they gave you 32 as a second option if you paid I don't know, about £20-50 more, and it didn't matter. You still have to upgrade anyway. You might as well just got the cheaper one, and it's going to be the same here probably.
Yeah.
I think what happens is that Nintendo Switch has come out. I had a bit of a look at it. All the typical people, like the YouTubers and everything, will go, "I'm so excited for the Nintendo Switch." It's like, okay, you apparently are not like the stock market, because apparently Nintendo shares went down after the announcement.
Yeah. I will say though
Switch. The Nintendo Switch. I will say, kind of not excited. I am happy with I'm happy with Tarzan here. I am happy with the same thing that Tarzan is happy with, the region-free stuff, because that means if Treehouse turn up and try to do their localization, you have the option to just circumvent them.
Of course, it does.
and also
learn the other language, which is not that easy. So it's still fucked over. But hey, we at least have an option.
Yeah,
and,
but even then, you also have.
Oh, Meerkat Monarch is here. Jan's here, guys.
Hey.
Say hello.
Yeah, we've got the gang
What
together.
you're saying.
I thought I'd just stop by.
Laugh at you
It's like
and leave.
to be honest, we've just imported the cast of the Unsolicited Opinions podcast.
Yeah,
didn't we?
because nobody showed up yesterday.
Yeah, no one showed up yesterday, so I figured I'd let them all in on this one so they can get whatever they want to talk about the system.
That makes sense. That makes sense. It'll be a fun time.
Yesterday, so
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
did say
I know.
everyone.
I know. We talked. Me and Artemis sat for 2 hours. Me, Artemis, and Plippy and Roy sat for 2 hours just talking. So
Until Roy fell asleep.
yeah, I pretty much I had 3 booster shots the day before, and flu, pneumonia, and a massive one that was like tetanus, diphtheria, and 2 other things.
Now,
So I had the
all
full
at once.
cocktail, man.
all at once.
Yeah, I mean,
Jesus
you gotta keep unicorns, vaccinated, because otherwise they will start spreading their filth everywhere.
See, this is
Let's-
why. This
Well,
is why.
Let's try this
Endangered guy-
cocktail and see whether or not he can actually process the poison.
Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
I
why
think basically
unicorns
you
should be
have to-
fucking sterilized.
No, come on, guys. Unicorns are an endangered species. I mean, have you seen one? No.
No, that's
There's not many of them around. We have to preserve what we have left.
It's
Yeah,
it's like when I talk about being a dragon fighter. Do you see any dragons anywhere? You're
Well,
welcome.
I thought it was my magic dragon rock resistance thing. You know, I have a rock here that was sold to me by a man who says if I have this rock, there won't be any dragons. And hey, presto, not a dragon around it.
Yeah.
I was just about to say, I thought you said bad dragon for a moment.
Best no.
I wasn't going to
Best
say
$5
a
grand
damn
I've ever
thing about
spent.
that.
Let the unicorn defend himself.
Why? I'm
He's a
having
sub.
fun listening to this.
He's a sub.
Anyway.
Don't worry about it. He's a sub. He's
Yeah.
interested in sub. But yeah, the Nintendo Switch, region free. I like the actual console itself, with lots of little bits that I'm going to inevitably lose within 20 minutes because that's just how I roll.
Yeah, with me, one of the things that it's kind of I kind of like it, and at the same time I don't. Like, you were talking about all the little bits and pieces. For me, it's like, oh yeah, if you want to buy extra pieces, it's going to cost quite a bit.
What I don't like about it is, like, it just feels like Nintendo always, after the Wii, Nintendo now think they have to have a gimmick for every console now.
They've always thought that.
I mean, it's always been a thing.
Yeah.
I don't remember that with
It's
the
not
Super
being
Nintendo.
present everywhere.
Yes, it is. Yes,
Well,
the
I'm
Super
actually-
Nintendo.
Well,
I mean, they had the Virtual Boy, which was really
Tarsem first.
then, and then they went a bit normal after the N64. Like, the GameCube was then trying to be normal, and it didn't work, which is why for the Wii they tried going gimmicky again, and it worked. And then the Wii U came out, and people didn't realize it was actually a new console.
All right, to be fair, that's because they marketed their the console fucking poorly. They just they only
They didn't really
showed off the
even-
controller and
They really even changed the name though. That was the problem.
yeah, that's the problem. I think they should have just gave it a different name, and then that would have solved most of the problem and showed that it's an actual fucking console.
Yeah.
And that's why actually I'm kind of like that. One of the things I also like about the Switch was that they sorted out the marketing for it, so aspects of the console and shit in their reveal trailer, and that's something I was happy about.
I like the lineup of games I've seen. They've got Zelda, of course. They've got this new Mario game that looks kind of weird, actually. Interesting, but weird. What is it with mascot characters and being placed in a world of ordinarily proportioned humans?
You know, if you think about it, they've come fucking full circle. Dude, they've come full circle. First it's Sonic Adventure, now we've got Mario Adventure.
Yeah, and they've also got 2 SMT games on the way, which I'm looking forward to.
Yeah, actually, that quite surprised me, to be honest. I didn't expect SMT to be advertised at all. Or Disgaea, for that matter.
Although Metroid got no mention, which is genuinely depressing, because seriously, I just feel so offended that Nintendo's just put Metroid in the trash because of one bad installment, and it's just
That actually has happened with a lot of outfits, especially EA. I did a thing for Tech Raptor a few months ago where I was doing a write-up on their Red Alert series, and all 3 of the branches of the Red Alert franchise, they each had one bad outing, after which they've had no development since. None.
To be honest, I think the issue with...
It's like one bad outing.
Never forget Westwood.
Command & Conquer.
Yeah.
God,
that was the issue with the Red Alert series. The issue, Red Alert, I mean, to be honest, it never had a bad outing.
I don't need to derail from the console talk. I don't want to derail from... It's just this seems to be something that a lot of...
I'd do anything to derail the console talk.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest with the... to answer your question, I think it wasn't necessarily the Red Alert series that did anything, because that sold well and it was received fairly positively. Or how bad Command & Conquer 4 was, and how that was the game to basically get the whole series canned.
Slightly off topic or derailing, I guess. Plippy, that retweet you just did about the Zelda costume.
Yeah, it's fake. It is fake, yes.
Good. I was about to get really annoyed there.
But here's the thing. It's not the lack of success of Westwood Studios that killed it. It was EA. It was bad decisions from EA that killed Westwood Studios. You can't blame one of the best real-time strategy studios throughout time.
Okay, let me clarify. Let me clarify this stuff here. It was not Westwood Studios' fault at all. What happened was that let me finish. What happened was that EA bought them out and proceeded to finish the one game they were working on while retiring all the people who had worked at Westwood. The last person working for Westwood, their last project was CNC Generals, which itself had a good outing. It actually had a good outing. It did well. CNC Generals did. That was the last Westwood project. Immediately after it was released, they released the last of the Westwood employees. And Red Alert 3 was very good, but had its final expansion, nobody liked it. It had a 64% Metacritic. The last of the Command and Conquers, like you were just mentioning, had a 64% rating from Metacritic.
Yeah,
and it's like the only thing that they've had that has not had a bomb for its most recent outing was CNC Generals, which they have done nothing with since.
Yeah,
they have 3 lines that they could do for Red Alert, and they are just sitting on it.
Yeah, they were originally going to do something for CNC Generals. I remember there was this whole thing about
it was
CNC,
the third universe.
And
EA breaking their promises? No.
No, this is the problem. EA breaking their own properties.
Yeah, why would here's the thing.
Why would you fuck this up?
Yeah, it's funny because that's one of the big games companies that's known for just being exclusively run by business people. The fuck was in charge of EA at the time? Because that's borderline retarded. Like, sure, you could have just canned the entire thing afterwards.
You're being too nice to them.
Sense of business sense. I mean, that's borderline retarded. I mean, why would you even?
No. It's very. Here's the thing. It's very common whenever a creative business is taken over by hardcore business people. They don't understand the structure of creative business at all. They understand the structure. They understand the structuring of businesses and running franchises. They know how to do that, but they don't know how to innovate. That's why you need a good balance between creative people and business people in a business to be able to run things properly.
I understand that. I understand that. But the problem was that these business people also should be able to notice, how to sell a product. And clearly they were. They understood that, we have a game, the new CNC Generals, which was basically just if I'm correct, it was like a free-to-play sort of thing. It was like a sort of online. Yeah, exactly. And, it was practically nearly done, and you could easily just you'd probably just kill off the franchise, but you'd make a couple of bucks out of it. Why the fuck would you kill it?
But they're working. Sorry.
They actually did a mobile game for CNC. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, I know. They did one for Red Alert 3 as well, if I remember.
No, I'm talking about a mobile game.
Oh.
Yeah, they did a mobile game that was supposed to be like the transition between Red Alert 2 and 3. Like, describing the conflict that set Red Alert 3 off, and almost nobody knows about it because it was never marketed. It's like, here's this transitional part of your story just buried.
I just wanted to defend what I said. You got on.
Thanks, Guy. Carsten. Why?
The people running EA. Fuck you, Tarson. Fuck you, Stan. Why haven't you turned off fucking muting on this? The people running EA are business people, and they live by preconceptions of how gamers work. They think they could package any shit in any sort of brand name and just roll it out there.
They think you're buying the brand name without realizing why you are buying the brand name.
Which is why you get shit.
selling film sequels.
Yes,
Yeah.
which is why you get shit movies every time you see a new fucking brand being run out and then taken over by a bunch of.
Now we're going into movies.
No.
I was about to stop that.
I just.
Yeah.
Slowly turn.
I just wanted to use that as an example.
I get it.
To make you see how entertainment business is run into the ground by business.
So, Tarzan, what did you want to say?
Well, I didn't have anything to say. I just got tired of listening to Yan.
Oh, okay.
Another fucking podcast for 4 minutes.
Wow. Yeah.
For God's sake, guys, stop it, please. Please
Guys,
stop.
that's mean. Anyway, just let's just go back. Let's go back to the topic of Nintendo's latest outing honestly mediocre.
Guys, I just wanted to put that out there. I thought the first one was really good, and carry on there.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I grew up with it, but
Okay,
yeah. Okay, so I guess we switch on to this topic.
Not that I feel
Switch back to this topic.
Not that I feel completely steamrolled just then. I'm just saying. Yeah.
I understand.
Sorry, what are you talking about?
He's a Westwood heretic. He doesn't believe in the Messiah that is Westwood Studios. They will return.
Piece of shit.
I've never heard of Westwood. What is it?
They did the original Command & Conquer, which was excellent. And the funny thing is about Command & Conquer, they actually teased the sequel at the end of the game, and then we didn't see it for, 7 years? And when it came out, it was a complete letdown.
Yeah,
Westwood
Remind me.
was the only game company able to make
Stop teasing.
a RTS
Stop leaving
on console that didn't suck.
Yeah, that is true. They made it was for the PlayStation, if I remember. I actually have it. I've got the Command and Conquer RTS.
The reason for that is that they basically invented RTS.
How it looks today, yes.
Yeah. Which is modern RTS, which is
Dune 2, pretty awesome game, guys.
Yeah, going
awesome.
All right.
topic.
Yeah.
Imbeciles. Basically,
Yes.
I'm getting really fucking tired of game developers writing a story, cutting it in half, and then saying, we'll make a sequel at some point, so we'll finish it then. They did it with Xenoblade Chronicles X, and I was happy to announce the sequel, only to find out it seems to be more of a sequel to the first game, not the one which they left
That
on
didn't need
the
first game
story.
doesn't need a sequel because it had a completed story.
I'm so tired of game developers doing this shit.
Well, I mean,
We had the same problem with the Mass Effect games when they said, we're going to be a trilogy.
exactly.
Here's the problem with that is one, the last act of Mass Effect 3 was basically where all the story goddamn was crammed in down your throat. So you're like going, well, okay, yeah.
Also mixed in with
and
what
let me finish. Let me finish. And they also did the stupid thing of, as I say, when trilogies were cool because of Lord of the Rings. Everyone goes, we got a trilogy. It's like, you don't need for it to be a trilogy. You could just keep going, because the best part about Mass Effect was the Star Trek kind of thing about it, with you exploring worlds and fixing people's problems with an overall narrative, with the Reapers always being in the background. When do you get rid of the Reapers? It's like, okay, we can't carry on.
Yeah, the thing about Mass Effect is it didn't need to be a trilogy, simply by the fact that it is an EA property, and as such, it's an annual sort of thing. They get them out. They would try and get them out like every year if they knew they didn't have to, and that would have worked just fine because everyone eats this kind of shit up. If it's like Assassin's Creed, for example, where they had a story, and for some reason they still felt compelled to end it in the third main installment. But at the same time, it was basically an annual series, so they were still putting chunks of that main story in all the side games and putting each of these each main installment had 2 side games that had some bits of the main story in while rounding out the main.
Have they completely abandoned that storyline now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Although I'm going to tell you my prediction for how Andromeda is going to go.
It's going to be a story of completely ugly lesbians in space.
Oh yeah, it's going to be a completely. It's going to be a story of completely ugly lesbians in space. Yes, and then guess what? At the very end, you find out, oh shit, there's still more Reapers. I will guarantee that will happen. I will guarantee that will happen.
Hey
Yeah,
guys,
the Reaper.
I can guarantee
Hey, guys.
what's going to happen.
Reapers.
People are going to be looking at the first lot of animations and going, "This is terrible," and they're going to take the game back to the store for a full refund.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh no! You're thinking of Mega Man.
Oh, you know what? Actually, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? If this thing happens where, oh shit, Reapers are involved, guess what? When people end up taking their game back to the store, if enough people take it back, you know what's going to happen? BioWare are going to tweet about how, oh shit, people aren't actually playing our game. The Reapers are back, guys. Buy the next game.
Yeah, because I don't think anyone really thought the Reapers were anything. They were kind of good when they were like this threat that were out there being scary, but when they actually did come, it was like, wow, you guys are lame.
Yeah, you
are taking forever to kill us all.
Yes, okay, I'll say that, but at the same time, I will defend and attack Mass Effect 3. I'll defend it on the basis that they did put out a really big, what amounts to a massive after-release patch, which fixed a lot of story problems, gave a lot of closure to character development. It was the kind of thing, pretty much the fans were saying, this is at least minimum what we want, and they went, okay. There were still a few huge plot holes, including...
The main problem with the patch was just the ending. Like, people wanted a new ending, and what they got was just the failure state ending, which admittedly is still better than the actual endings, but, like, it's still spitting in the face of the people who actually stayed from the first game, continued to the third, and saw the first game have a mostly optimistic outlook. The second game have a somewhat pessimistic outlook, but at least optimistic that you can win if at least you make some sacrifices, or if you play the best possible game.
All your decisions will matter.
You lose. No option to win. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
And
actually,
I just thought it was amazing that the developer said, we're not going to have an A, B, or C ending. And at the end, it's like, he was right.
I hope
have an A, B, C ending.
Yeah,
whoa, let me finish. If you do the game, it actually says red ending, blue ending, green ending.
Yeah, it's in.
I hope you like it. How do you like your explosions, young man? Do you like them red? Do you like them green? Or do you like a tinge of blue? That's on offer today. Or you could kill the Star Child for some reason. That's just going to land you a failure.
They're like saying, oh, all these are going to be hugely different endings, and then you actually have people playing them side by side, and they're 90% identical.
No, they use the same fucking cutscenes and change the explosions.
Yes, carry on, Roy.
Yeah, the thing that was really pitched along the way between Mass Effect 1 and 2 was your decisions matter. Mass Effect 3 said, fuck you, no, they don't. And that is the thing that still infuriates me about it. That said, I can currently go through and replay all 3 games and enjoy them. That's just my pet peeve at the end, though.
Yeah, I understand you've got to do the story diamond. You all start off at the same point, then you expand for the sequel where you're all over the place, and at the end you have to bring it back to one place because otherwise, that's you can't have an ending otherwise.
That was the promise, though.
Yeah, and
it's like this is what you said you were going to do, and then you said, "Fuck it, no, that's too hard."
Yeah, and my thing is like my idea for the ending is here's what I thought was going to happen. You were going to all the characters that you befriended over the course of the games would actually come together at the end, and the game would know who you were friends with.
Yep.
Because that stuff carried over, and you coming together, and I thought that was going to deter what kind of ending you got. I thought all your decisions over all of it, who you were friends with, and basically
if you did your damnedest to make sure that you're on everyone's good side and made sure that okay, cool, we're all now working together. We've brought out all these different alliances from people who would normally hate each other. We can actually save the world. Like I thought, okay, depending on how many people you got, okay, we can actually defeat the Reapers.
Yes.
And the final rationalization with the Star Child is just so stupid. It is 1970s sci-fi stupid. The kind of thing where you would have, if you ever saw Battle Between the Planets, that kind of stupid. Where it's like, well, you know what? We're doing this for your own good. What? Because you might develop AI. So here's some AIs, and we heard you like AIs. So we're going to create some AIs to destroy you before you can make AIs to destroy you.
circular
Thing
logic.
is, it doesn't even take that much to fix the Reapers. You just have to make it so their motivation is not self-defeating, which it is. And it really doesn't take much to create a motivation that isn't self-defeating. How they actually managed to make that kind of fuck up.
How dare you
protest
Chekhov's circular gun? How dare you protest Chekhov's circular gun?
I think the biggest problem with the show is that they kept saying Mass Effect 2 and then 3 is going to come out a year later. It's like, oh, good, because they say, oh, don't worry, guys. We've been developing both at the same time. It's not going to be a rush job. Multiple patches and them changing endings, including DLC, which actually explains what's going on. I think it's rushed. Also, a goddamn pre-order character that was clearly in the game, and they tore it out to get pre-order.
Okay, to be fair, at least that's obviously EA, but even then,
and the character was really forced in as well. It was like people goes, I get it. You can have like people who have come before. You don't have to show everything.
Goa, are you really trying to say that you're excusing EA for being EA?
No, I'm excusing BioWare for once because this was back in the day when they weren't so shitty.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Fair is fair. Fair is fair.
I just misheard. I think because
I was protecting someone. It was BioWare in this case, but now I just think, oh, I've made a fucking horrible mistake. I defended BioWare. I defended.
We're never going to fool BioWare.
I defended passive-aggressive gun stealing animations.
Yep. Oh wow, that was horrible.
Go ahead, Tarson.
You mean gun donations
or not? Tarson, go. Tarson, talk.
Basically, I just I don't really understand the BioWare.
Shut up, gamer.
Jesus Christ!
Every time I play a BioWare game, I've tried to get into it, and only 2 games out of everything they've ever made has ever actually gripped me, and that's Dragon Age Origins. Not because it was interesting, but simply because I had like 8 Origins to go through. I want to see those, and after that, I just ended up playing through it. But once you got to the deep roads, fuck that. Like I got through it once, I'm not going through it ever again, basically. And then the other one was Mass Effect 2. Mass Effect 1 I played through. It wasn't that great. I didn't enjoy the gameplay, and I didn't enjoy the questing, and the story was kind of boring. But 2, it got me. I liked some of the characters, even if 2 of them really pissed me off. But something that is kind of a problem I have with BioWare is that their companion characters are always like sort of lauded as some of the best characters, and it's like I hate all of them. I hate so many of them. Origins is more actually like every single one of the characters, and even then I struggle with at least one of them. But stuff like KOTOR or Jade Empire, which I actually stopped playing because the companion characters pissed me off too much.
Don't worry, that Jade Empire really had that rushed ending problem as well.
Well, something to bear in mind, really, is that BioWare made their reputation supposedly on being able to tell stories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So when they completely fuck up a story at the very end of it, or even when they pooch it and things like, I actually got Assassin's Creed. Was it 3 or 4 where you're playing the Native American during the American?
Three.
I thought that was a great concept, and then I'm trying to play it.
3. It's 3, Roy. Roy is 3.
See, it's that boring. It's that boring, uninteresting, and unengaging. I couldn't even remember which one it was.
Yeah, that's the sad part. There was a lot of stuff I felt they could have done with that.
Well, they had,
with the whole, because they had the American Revolution in the back. And I thought, fuck, if you can make that boring, then.
Well, to me, it was basically if you looked at the trailer featured stuff that wasn't in the game.
Yeah.
My favorite bit, you know, the bit where everyone keeps saying the horse bit, that they keep saying, "Oh, it's just too hard. It's too hard for the game, so we're going to patch it so it's easier." Do you know what the problem with that thing was? When you had a cutscene where you're chasing a gun horse, and in the cutscene, your already bland character mounts the horse. Then it switches back to gameplay, and the horse is facing the wrong way.
Oh,
what?
So your chase has to start out with you turning round.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, I remember that. Oh,
I
Jesus.
don't even recall that. That's the thing.
Yeah, I remember just going because I went,
Wow.
okay, horse, ride forward, because I rode forward because in the cutscene the horse was facing the guy who was running away. So on the horse, ran away, and I failed 3 times before I realised, oh, I'm pretty sure that wasn't my fault though.
No, it's just the programmers being retarded.
So how do you miss that?
Simple, rushed work. It's the same thing when you turn it continuity faults in movies and so on. It's rushed work. It's that simple.
Game
Yeah, honestly, and
every
I mean,
single one of them has oversight. It's a simple nature of game development. You can't cover everything.
No, that's
think-
true.
yeah, I mean it's true, but I mean, in a lot of games, you at least have people covering as much as they can. Like for example, like I think a good
At least
example.
you tried.
Well, I mean, I think a good example is when Obsidian did KOTOR 2, because they clearly had a really damn good story.
Mm-hmm.
Like it was really, really interesting. But the problem was, BioWare didn't give them enough time.
I recruited that damn Wookiee to my party 4 times.
Actually, like the way I heard it, LucasArts wanted it out very quickly, and after it came out, they actually forbid them from updating it with a patch or something like that, or an expansion pack. So
yeah, they did.
It had to remain unfinished. So I'd say it's less BioWare, more LucasArts, random.
Yeah, the good thing is that thankfully the restored content mod exists, so we can actually experience the full story, and it's really good.
That goddamn factory. All the way through the game, there's like hints being dropped to this droid factory all through the goddamn game.
Yes,
and it's not there.
And thankfully it's actually fucking patched in, and it's really cool. And when you do that
just tells me how KOTOR 2 could go eat a big one.
Yeah, no, it's not their fault because they were literally given. It's the same problem with New Vegas, except they had a little more time for that one. Because
I was actually going to comment on that. New Vegas actually has mods to restore all kinds of cut content, including a number of quests, character building stuff. Really interesting stuff. Is like, why did you not implement this? This doesn't even. It doesn't even.
The problem is they would
bear on the resources.
Yeah, the problem was they were given a literal fortnight in some cases to get all of it done. So, to be honest, I'm kind of impressed by New Vegas,
No,
even though it has all
I'm talking about stuff that was done, though. All it needed was to be activated. We're talking about things like the ghoul beggar that you can start throwing money at, and it's like, yeah, I want tips, I want information. Here you go. And eventually, the guy is all pimped out and shit because he's been spending his money on nice clothes.
Oh, I have to say, that was kind of.
I'm impressed with New Vegas for an entirely different reason, and that's because it's the only Fallout game that actually works properly on my PC. The second game in particular was working fine right up until the final dungeon, where it had like a game break I could not get past, so I couldn't finish it. 3 cannot run on my PC without crashing unless I'm in a very tiny window. 4 was exactly the same. I have to play in window mode or it crashes.
Yeah.
I don't understand what
you're talking about Little Lamplight, aren't you?
In every one of their fucking.
You're talking about Little Lamplight, aren't you, for Fallout 3?
No, I mean like flat out anywhere in Fallout 3. If I play in full screen, it will crash like within 5 minutes.
Yeah, there is.
Fallout 4.
There's actually a patch for that. But you were talking about a dungeon that was completely broken. There is one, and it's even in the strategy guide. It's in the Fallout 3 strategy
final dungeon.
Yeah, it's Little Lamplight.
Yeah. If you go there before the main quest triggers it, then it prevents you from actually meeting anybody and having dialogue to go either of the 2 paths that you need to. The only way that you can finish the game is to no-quit.
The problem I had was that after a certain point in the dungeon, like right before the final encounter, I guess, with the main antagonist, there's a room you have to go through. In that room, the game crashes, and there's no other way to get to the character you need to talk to. So the game simply wasn't finishing.
Okay.
At that point.
All right. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Nothing will ever come.
I do I'll add something about this later, but back to the Switch discussion. You know, remember Polygon and their misadventure with Doom?
Damn you, Polygon!
It was up with their own bomb.
Well, yes, they Polygon
Shoot that
can't
Shoot that health
it
back.
can't
The
seem
health
to.
back was coming right for him.
Yeah, I'll be honest. They can't seem to play games at all. They can't fucking play Zelda.
I don't think the person they're hiring to record the footage has like arms.
Yeah, I don't think they've ever touched any fucking controller in their life.
Okay,
yeah,
I can explain what's going on there, and it's actually a lot simpler than you might think.
They're trolling everyone?
No, they don't hire gamers per se. They hire writers. They hire people who they think have journalism.
No.
They don't hire writers.
Let me finish. Let me
Loud
finish. Okay.
noises.
They hire
this is-
suicide girl critics is the main.
This is it.
That's
Yeah,
the main
this
thing.
is inside information. Okay.
Okay.
They hire people on basis that they think they can write and that they think that they have journalism credentials. And I mean that in the San Francisco form of the term. They are a San Francisco clique. Virtually everybody who works for them is from San Francisco. They have similar politics and ideals, and they think that they are a force for improving gaming through critique and blah, 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 blah. So it's having actual gaming skills or knowledge of the games that you are reviewing is completely secondary at Polygon.
Yeah,
that is corporate policy over there.
Exactly.
I find it absolutely bizarre that this is like it should be an enthusiast press, and it's not anymore at all.
It's
I think
just
that's why people want like Top Gear. I mean, back in the day, you could say, yeah, that could work because was it like Amiga Power hired Jeremy Clarkson?
I think that rings a bell. I don't know why.
But apparently they hired Jeremy Clarkson, who didn't know a thing about video games at all. Obviously,
yes, they did.
But they hired him because he was a name, and he was actually a writer at the time for all newspapers. And basically, it's exactly what we see here. If you look at his articles from the day, he basically spends half of it talking about himself. Sounds familiar. And then he would sort of like talk a bit about the game and give it a 10 out of 10.
Yeah,
that reminds me of like when I see articles today. Stop talking about yourself. Every goddamn article starts. As I sat there on a Thursday morning, hungover from the magnificent party I'd attended the night before, where everyone thought I was lovely and beautiful. I sat there playing this game, and I thought to myself, why do I waste my time with this? Then someone delivered me roses because I'm so wonderful person.
You know, actually, speaking of which, it's funny you mentioned that because I recently watched because the Grand Tour did one where they did a promotion with Xbox where they played Forza live on Twitch, and I will say that was kind of amusing.
So, does anyone have anything else they want to talk about the Switch before we move on?
I do.
Oh, we were talking about the Switch. I thought we were talking about Westwood Studios.
I just wanted to bring it back in case anyone had anything they wanted to add before we let nature take us.
Okay, well,
can I just complain about the price? The price in America is like $299. In the US, in the UK, it's about 270.
79.
Yes,
to be honest, I can explain that.
Yeah.
I'll explain that. And to be honest, this is a thing that's found commonly with most console companies. Have no idea, it seems, or they do have an idea, they just know they can exploit it, of how currency exchange works.
Sorry, what was that?
Oh, okay. They don't seem to understand how currency exchange works. Well, okay. And this is how much it would cost. Yeah, they just put out a number just because, and as a result, it's going to be a lot more expensive in the UK and stuff because they can't seem to convert the actual price correctly.
Yeah, we're paying about £36 more than the US.
Yep. Have fun. Yeah. Although I will say, in terms of if it were adjusted correctly, it would be about £240, £250.
Yep.
And I'd say that's a fairly decent price for what it is. I mean, it's not too bad. idea. It would have been better if it was, in my opinion, in between 200 and 250 pounds. But considering it's NVIDIA, they probably jacked up the price a tiny bit.
It does remind me of another thing I wanted to talk about. The lineup. Basically, I've been talking to some people, and they've basically been like, well, we don't have a good enough lineup for the Switch yet, and that's why they're not particularly impressed, and why I think we could just go to the PS4 or the Xbox for a lineup you like, and they already have it. You can just go there, and it's about the same price. My thinking was, in this generation, games cost around £40 to £60. I can't afford even one of that at the moment, but when I can, it will be very rarely. So having a particularly big lineup is not actually a draw for me, and it seems kind of like a lot of the people who are obsessed with big lineups also couldn't really afford all these games anyway. If I have like at least 2 or 3 games on one console that I can buy over the course of a year, provided I have the money, then I'm considering it a worthwhile purchase. It's irrelevant of whether or not the console succeeded. That's irrelevant to me as someone who's already bought it or not. Just something I felt like stating. It seems like a really weird thing to get hung up on.
How much did you say the US price was?
$299.
Yeah, so somebody just said $299. That sounds like a good number.
$352.
Say that again, sorry?
US dollars.
Ooh,
$352 US dollars.
Oh, jeez.
Oh yeah, it's Australia. Everything's fucked over there.
Yeah. They
So
do
at
kind of
that
make it back
price,
through
they
the
can
nose.
blow me. I'm
Yeah.
not
Also,
paying
there's
that.
something about New Zealand,
On
and
principle.
they're selling half of the controller for like $80. But that might have been in it. I don't know. But if it's true, like, what the fuck?
I just love the fact that I'm just going with the Nintendo mentality that they look, because all the controllers are gimmicky now. I just love the fact that you have to buy peripherals for Nintendo. Peripherals used to be like the Nintendo Scope and other stuff. These days, a peripheral is a goddamn normal controller.
Yeah.
Just give me a normal controller. I don't care about the gimmicky ones.
Yeah, they mentioned that the controls for the Switch are quite small. I haven't actually seen it in action, so I don't know how small it is. But
I've seen it in. I remember I saw some footage of people using the control. It's not too small. It's a little small, but not like overly small.
would you say it's about like the size of the 3DS XL or something? Because that's what I've got, and I find that quite comfortable.
Yeah, I'd say
you can handle it.
I'd say it's about the same size. Yeah. Yeah,
But anyway,
and,
the same thing. It's like the actual machine. I'm not hyped about at all. I just hope there are certain good games for it. Also, they're charging for online, which is great because Nintendo don't know how to do it.
Yeah, I will say, they're charging for online, which I get it. Why? Because everyone else is doing it. So
why have a username when you can have a handy 47-digit code?
Yeah.
But are they still? I haven't seen anything regarding if they're actually doing that or not. Because I haven't seen if they're continuing the whole friend code thing. Because it seems like because Street Pass and Miiverse won't be on the Nintendo Switch.
Well, why would
that was
portable then.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. So that means they're probably going to do something else. So they're probably going to replace it with something. At least on the Miiverse front. I'm not too sure about Street Pass, but but generally, I'm in terms of lineup, it seems kind of mixed.
Well, let's have a look at it. Basically, you have Splatoon 2. Hey guys, Skyrim's coming out again.
Yeah, I'd say that's
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is coming out, which is I love Mario Kart 8, but I've already got it. Sorry for that guy that I thought that guy on Twitter that I thought Mario Kart 8 was really good and I really enjoyed it. Apparently, I was wrong. I didn't really enjoy it.
Really?
Yeah, apparently I'm wrong.
Of course, your subjective opinion is wrong to yourself.
Yeah,
but it's wrong.
Apparently I played it for all those hours, apparently hating it. I don't know.
That's how you enjoy things, is by hating them, right?
Well, you were playing against your own best interests.
Yeah.
When it's in portable mode, what is the battery life of the Switch? Because I've been hearing stuff like
It's
it's
about-
2 hours.
And no, it's actually from what I'm gathering, it's about 3.
Yeah, that's what killed my interest. That's what killed an
Right.
awful lot of my.
Pathetic.
However, what I'm guessing,
because the controller actually, one, I couldn't take it to the toilet to keep playing my game. That's a rip off.
Okay, continue.
I mean, mine was. However, I do actually have a theory regarding this. I think they're aware of it, and they know that. I remember hearing something about they know about how. Does anyone have phone chargers where you charge it up at home and then you take it out just in case phones? Oh wait,
Power bank.
Yeah, power bank. Hey, have you got one of those? Or... All right. Well, from what I'm hearing, one of the peripherals is going to be something like that. Which, if they do that, then that would make a lot of sense. Because for
a
long,
proprietary power bank that they can charge a ridiculous sum of money for. Yeah, this thing's gonna fail if they're doing that shit.
I don't know. Hopefully they won't charge too much money because the technology for that is cheap.
Pulling a Sony.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's not too Sony. It's more that I remember this. Remember, this console it wasn't produced by Nintendo themselves. Like it was produced by Nvidia. Like from what I've gathered, this thing was designed from the ground up by Nvidia. So I think it's going to be more on them than Nintendo's fault.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
I've also heard that it's 720p while portable, but when docked, it's not 1080p. It's 960p, I think it was.
No, it's slightly more than 1080 from what I.
Okay.
It's not under 1080 because we use 1080 and it doesn't make sense that they.
Yeah, that was really confusing when I heard that in the this random Zelda article that Virtue linked. But yeah, I know a lot of people seem kind of upset about the resolution of this stuff when it's docked. I consider it wholly irrelevant. I mean, 720p on portable mode, it will look fine. When it's docked, 1080p is not the most amazing thing, but it's always been completely sufficient for any PC gamer who hasn't got a completely monster rig. So acting like console gamers are not completely fine with that, and it's just really baffling to me that some people seem to take an issue with that. I am, of course, referring to a very specific person in the chat of somewhere I go to on Twitter who never shuts up about how Nintendo sucks. I sort of agree with him, but still he's a bit of a twat.
Oh,
I never said Nintendo sucks. I just don't play Nintendo games.
I was actually referring to RG.
Yeah.
A person who shall not be named, and then Jens pops up.
Well, anyway, yeah. So it's kind of a mixed bag for me. Like, there's some stuff I like. I actually kind of like. Has anyone seen the trailer for that ARMS game?
Yeah.
Like, if they add more chaos, a game. It's like a boxing game that actually looks quite interesting.
Yeah, the one that suddenly has been promoting all kinds of foot fetish art or something.
No, yeah, also it's got instantly as soon as it got out, there was already porn of it. This means it's going to be popular.
I mean, I'm not particularly fond of fighting games, but it does look kind of fun.
Yeah,
my main sticking point with the Switch is if the games are censored or not, and I don't really trust Nintendo at this point to not hand these games over to translators who censor the shit out of these games. So it seems unlikely I'll be sticking with Nintendo, but it's also likely I'll be buying the console very much later down the line when it's significantly cheaper and I can get all the games pre-owned, because I'm sick of buying Nintendo games only to find out they've been gutted by cretin who think they know better than the authors.
Yeah, however, I think that has been mitigated a bit because, as we know, it's now region-free, and there are plenty of modders out there that will allow you to mod those save files so that they have dialogue, which is actually, translated as it would be. But ultimately, I think it's dependent on the company. So, like, for example, there's going to be a new No More Heroes game, and that's definitely not going to be handed over to Treehouse. Like,
yeah,
that's
and
not happening.
Yeah, the same applies to like SMT. I mean, I've seen some people complain like, why does Atlas keep putting this very not kid friendly franchise on Nintendo consoles and platforms when they're like the most kid friendly, family friendly company out there? And it's like they haven't really dumbed it down. And looking at SMT4, it's probably the darkest SMT game out there, just from the way they've presented everything. So
Yeah.
that's not something I'm worried about. Like, Atlas is generally pretty good about keeping things intact.
The only one where it was gutted was SMT with Fire Emblem. But I know what happened with that because they're using a Nintendo property. If it's their own, but if it's with a Nintendo property, then it will be gutted.
I ended up not being particularly interested in SMT versus Fire Emblem. What was it called again?
Yeah, it was Tokyo Mirage Stories in the
yeah,
West.
like when they first announced it, it was really interesting to me because I thought they were actually going to do like this mashup, and then finally the trailers came out, and clearly they've reworked it several times between the announcement and the actual trailer.
Yeah, it seemed. To be honest, it seemed more like Persona and Fire Emblem.
Clear like Persona all the way, and you could see the SMT, the Fire Emblem influences everywhere. But then when you actually try to look for the SMT influences, I could not really see them, aside from the fact it took place in Tokyo, and there was a slight image they had in that trailer where there was like an apocalyptic Tokyo. But
Yeah, meanwhile, I could see plenty of fucking Persona references, and especially with the gameplay, because that was practically the same.
Yeah, and in the end, like, just the tone and the complete betrayal of my expectations, and just the fact that I'm completely content with the Persona games, but I'm more interested in SMT. If I want a Persona game, I'll play an actual Persona game. I won't play a mashup of two franchises that are not interesting me as much anymore. Like Fire Emblem in particular, I'm just completely torn over, since Awakening has marked a complete shift in the way the series has gone. You can't interest me with Fire Emblem anymore. Like, I go back to the old games if I want to play them. So mashing those two up, Persona, Fire Emblem, you've got nothing for me. And then they started censoring it in the most nonsensical ways. It's like, oh my god, how is this selling at all? Did it sell?
Oh well.
I'm
anyway,
off, by the way.
Oh god.
All right. Have a good one.
Plippy, read chat and then respond.
Plippy, respond.
I think Plippy passed out.
Plippy!
Yeah, probably. Well, I'm off. I'll talk to you guys. Bye.
Yep.
See you later.
All right, cool. Yeah, so on to the next topic. I think we covered everything about the Switch.
Yeah.
All right, and Webster, you can unmute yourself now.
Oh, is Plippy still
You
muted?
see what happens when you mute me half the people.
Oh, fucking hell. All right.
You weren't stopping.
You do realise
on and on, so I just had to mute you. I didn't realise you wouldn't notice or you wouldn't unmute yourself at any point.
I gave a good long speech about the benefits of Nintendo and ice cream, and no one heard that.
Because you just drone on without letting anyone else speak. Eventually, I have to put a stop to it.
That is true. Anyway, so on to the next topic.
Excuse me for talking on a podcast.
Uh,
I'm not talking. I'm not allowed to. Apparently, I drone on.
Okay, so the next topic, I guess we can safely say.
I've got the list here, but I'm not talking.
Okay.
If you're not talking, I'm going to mute you.
This just can be great, isn't it? Oh no! Come on. All right. So next topic, it would be Flipster saw Rogue One. thoughts about it. You can drone on now.
Oh, boy.
I didn't like it very much. There we are. Moving on.
Welcome to the Passive Aggressive Podcast.
Yes.
Fuck you, it's January. I'm allowed to be passive aggressive.
Well, to be fair, with the amount of shitty films that are going to come out and rehashes, I can't blame you. Fuck you.
Yeah, it's called Fuck You, it's forever now.
Fuck you. But yeah, Rogue
Right.
One. So, Rogue One. Plipster, you didn't really like it too much. Okay, how do you guys find it? Because I thought it was kind of okay.
I am completely apathetic to Star Wars in general, and I haven't seen it.
Oh, okay.
It's probably terrible.
All right, Roy.
I have not seen it. I don't want to see it.
Okay. Okay.
You see, when I went and saw episode 3, and I applauded in the theater at the end of it, and my best friend of 20 years stares at me and says, "What the hell do you think you're doing?" I said, "I finally have closure. It's done. It's over." No! No, it's not.
That's Disney's fucking fault. I mean, I was expecting it as soon as they bought Star Wars.
I'll say it again.
I my closure.
I was just sat in the theatre just thinking, I am actually bored. I'm actively bored, and I don't like anyone, and I don't know why anyone's doing what they're doing. Why is Jin following these people? She doesn't like them. She doesn't trust them, and she's just going along with it.
I'll be honest. I like Jin a lot more than Rey because she's a lot more consistent as a character. She's not. It's not like the writers wrote a billion different characters into her, and now she's just like, oh, okay, I'll be very courageous in this line, in this scene, but in the next scene after, I'm going to be a complete ice queen. I with Jin, yeah, she's a fucking boring character, but at least she stays a fucking boring character throughout the fucking
there we go.
story.
Consistently boring. There we go. That's a benefit for a Star Wars film.
Yeah, honestly, it's fucking sad that I have to compliment that. That's, I mean, I liked it on a technical front, and like some of the themes they use, like for example, they use models again, something I praise the 7th movie for because I'm a very big fan of people using models, and everyone should be, to be honest, because well, does them anymore, and it makes me really sad because most of the special effects for ship battles and stuff like
Practical
that.
effects, yes.
Yes, look absolutely terrible.
It
And
really
that's something I
did-
liked about the 7th film, and also continuing on to the Rogue One.
It really did feel to me a lot of the time, and I think this has been echoed by a few people, that it felt like someone had a boring script for a war film and they crammed Star Wars into it to try and make me care.
Yeah, I did see some of that as well.
Because
That's
I understand.
actually the original Star Wars.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
So many of the scenes from Star Wars, especially the action scenes, were lifted almost, lifted at least the framework from World War II films like Dam Busters.
Yeah,
and the Forbidden Fortress, I think. Forbidden Fortress that had the that's where the R2-D2 C-3PO came from.
Yeah, a lot of Kurosawa films had, especially Seven Samurai. Actually, they lifted a lot of scenes from that.
I think one of the things that basically made me start rolling my eyes is that even though they had fan service in The Force Awakens, obviously, it was like little nods. In this one, it was so out of left field, and you thinking, how did this get here?
Yeah, but no, with me, the worst one for me was the very end. Like, here's the thing. A lot of people complain about Tarkin being in it. And well, of course he's computer generated because
the guy's dead.
Yeah, and honestly, they actually did a pretty damn good job with the computer, with the CGI for him, in my opinion. So I was okay with it. No, I was
terrifying.
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of terrifying how good it is. But then at the very end, I honestly, most people have seen it, so I'm just going to spoil it right here.
I think you overestimate the quality.
Like, here's the thing. Tarkin, I'll make it clear here. Tarkin made sense for being in the story because, well, he was overseeing the Death Star project, and making sure that, oh, okay, everything's fine and whatnot, and I'm just going to claim all the glory later. So, yeah.
It would actually seem out of place if he were not in.
Exactly. So it made sense that he was in. But what didn't make sense was at the end, because this is when they had the Death Star plans and they were going to fuck off and leave. The Rebel fleet gets ambushed, or at least the remnants of it, with the Death Star plans, gets ambushed by Darth Vader's fleet. Darth Vader goes onto the ship, slaughters a whole bunch of rebels in a pretty damn cool action scene, I will admit. And guess what? The Tantive 4, the original ship that they were chasing in the original Star Wars film, just so happens to be docked in their flagship. And Princess Leia, CGI Princess Leia, who looks absolutely fucking fake due to the white background, by the way. Yeah, she happens to be on that ship as well.
They have insisted that she's not going to be in the next film. That's what they're claiming.
That's fucking. Well, here's the thing. I can understand that because guess what? She's fucking dead.
Yeah, well, as in doing the CGI thing. They actually put out a press release saying we respect her too much. She is our beloved princess, etc., etc. We will not be doing the CGI thing. So of course they'll do the CGI thing and then farm the outrage to get more people to watch the movie.
Oh, okay. Well, to be honest, I mean, I'll forgive them for this on that front because the CGI stuff was done before she fucking died. So yeah, and her mum. I still couldn't believe that. She died the day after Carrie Fisher dies. Her motherfucking dies. Jesus. But, yeah.
Dead of a broken heart. That used to be a thing.
Yeah, I feel fucking sorry for the granddaughter. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so I did not get why she did not need to be in that film. Under no circumstances. She did not need to be in that film. I'm talking about CGI Princess Leia.
Yeah.
Have something to add there, Blipster?
No, I
giggly.
No, I was just thinking back to that film, and I was still lost in my. It has to be in it because it's Star Wars moments of the film. The fact that it immediately led into Episode 4, I did not like. I felt like. When Episode 3 happened and everyone and Obi-Wan and Yoda just immediately got off to where they're hiding. It's at the end of the film. We're off to these places now. It's like, okay. Guess that's a plan.
Wow, that's fucking great.
You're doing that only because that's where they ended up in the Episode 4. Fair enough. Okay, That's why we're doing this. It's a bit jarring for me, but never mind.
Actually, it made less. Actually, I mean, it made a tiny bit more sense. Like only a tiny bit on that front, because in Episode 2, Anakin and Padme visit that site for some reason, because her mom was a slave to the guy there, and Uncle Owen, like prepubescent Uncle Owen, and
Go on.
I forgot her name, like the
Anburu.
Anburu, there we go. Anburu just also happened to be there as well. So, yeah. Also,
the You Watch Yourself guy and his mate were there. No reason. They weren't actually part of the film. They were just there to go Star Wars at you.
Bosk, who was people actually remember Bosk, who was his sidekick who got his arm cut off. They don't remember the guy who actually has the talking lines.
Oh yeah, I don't know. The only reason. I only remember Bosk because I played a lot of Empire War Forces of Corruption. That's all I remember. That's the only reason why. Which coincidentally was actually done by the Command and Conquer people.
But it was just the whole film was the fan service of people basically just coming along, shouting their catchphrase and wandering off again. That happened more than once.
Oh, you're thinking of the Darth Vader moment, aren't you?
And the C-3PO-2D2 moment when they were just there.
Oh yeah, that was hilarious.
That was the point where I completely turned on the film and went, "Fuck this film."
I actually, you know what? I just had an idea after I watched that film. Even then, even when I sort of did quite like it, I had an idea for a B movie edit where, the Rogue One, but every time there's fan service, the entire B movie is played.
No.
Yes.
What are you trying to do? Kill people?
Yes. You know what? I've actually calculated how much time that would take. You know how long that would be.
It's like a 50-hour movie, isn't it?
No, it's actually 70. When you chalk up all the fan service, it's 70. 70 hours. 70 hours of mostly the B movie.
Yeah.
My God.
Another weird. This is weird part of this. This is the part of Disney Star Wars that I don't understand.
Right.
Why does no one fancy each other in these films?
Yeah, it's understandable for Rogue One because, well, no point making them fancy each other because they're gonna fucking die at the end.
Well, that makes it. That would actually make
that makes it more poignant. That's called poignancy.
And you know when Agent McAccent basically does that complete unearned turn to be her friend towards the end, which I was like, kind of like, if he fancied her, that would make sense, but he doesn't because no one fancies each other in these things. I think because people, people sort of like Poe and Flynn, they're going, why don't they make them gay? At this point, I'm like, sure.
Yeah, okay.
At least someone in this film fancies someone else.
Right, you got a good point. I could sort of see what you mean by that. Honestly,
something.
Yes.
Yeah. Honestly, something just needs to happen.
I think maybe they were kind of recoiling from what happened in the prequels, where they wrote a love story so terrible everybody remembers how terrible it was.
The episode
my love
2.
for you is like a river of loving love, my love.
I love you because you are love and I am love. We are both love. Love.
That's because I'm so in love. Oh no, that's because I'm so in love.
One of these three phrases. Two of these three phases are fake. One is real. You do the audience pick out which one of those was actually real.
Do you get it?
I actually quoted a comic strip.
Do you get it? We actually love each other.
So really, they could have just cut that down to the scene in the field where they're having the picnic. It's like, okay, we get it. You have a romantic relationship because if you're not going to develop it beyond that, that's all we needed.
And we always have the eternal thing as though when she basically was like, I have no interest in you, Anakin. Hey, I'm going to wear these really attractive outfits and just hang around in romantic locations.
We can never be together, aren't I hot?
Yes. Let's go sit in this. Let's go into this romantic field. Let's go into this romantic candlelit dinner. Let's go into this romantic room with a fireplace.
But we're not doing nothing.
I'm not. I'm just saying. I'm not. I'm just saying. don't. I'm not trying to make this
you know what? I think what they were trying for, they were trying for the classic concept of medieval chivalrous love, where it's not sexual. It's simply based on admiration and love for one another, and that's great. But the problem is, they didn't actually go with that, and they made it something more visceral for Anakin at the last freaking minute so he could have an excuse to become Darth Vader. It's like, okay, if you're this passionate about this woman, you're not having the chivalrous, romance thing.
And also, the worst part about it was that when he actually becomes Darth Vader, it's undermined by how fucking hilarious it was.
Oh, God.
No! I mean, you essentially reduced Darth Vader, someone that was actually fucking terrifying in some cases, to a guy having a temper tantrum.
At least in Rogue One, Darth Vader was actually a threat.
Yes, that was what I was going to add just then. Just the scene where he actually cuts down, because at the end, he actually comes on to the big flagship where the Tantive 4 for some reason is fucking there, where he's actually he's going after the rebels, and you could see the rebel with the plan furiously fucking knocking on the door and shit, trying to get his rebel friends to open it, while Darth Vader was mercilessly cutting his friends down behind him. Like, I actually really loved that scene because it was so well executed.
This is what I hope they do if they're going to insist on doing films around this period. I think what you should do is try to rehab Darth Vader from the damage of the prequels.
It seems like they're doing that.
And just show him turning up being a complete spoiler for everything. Like, even if the good guys accomplish with their mission, he just turns up and wrecks shop.
Yeah, I mean, I think they are doing that. I think.
Fuck you.
Yeah, I think they are doing. I have seen them actually doing this, not only with the films, but I've watched a bit of like the Star Wars Rebels show where he's in the second season, and I have to give credit. They do his character a lot of justice. Where he's fucking tactical, he's smart, he's fucking terrifying in some cases where he's just a little tank. They drop a walker on him, and he just fucking holds it up like it's bloody nothing, and just throws it aside.
Well, that's what you should do with Darth Vader.
And
it fits the way that the guy was built up as a badass in the original movies.
Yeah, and it's great.
He was the guy's like Han Solo opens up with a blaster at point blank range, just holds up his hand. Yeah, what you gonna do?
Yeah, exactly. And what's great is that they actually in the finale of that, because I watched that as well, where they had like the main character face off against him, and he gets fucking annihilated in like 5 seconds. Like, I kind of like how it was done, and then also because it was it carries over from Clone Wars, which is kind of weird since Clone Wars was on Cartoon Network and this is on Disney XD, so it's kind of weird.
Well, which animated Clone Wars are we talking about?
The most recent one.
That would be the CGI one.
Yes.
Yeah, that was actually really good, although I hate them.
I loved it. I actually
Mandalorians.
I thought I liked that. It had a lot of references to the games. Like a surprising amount. Like, for example, there's one where Anakin's apprentice, Ahsoka, she ends up getting caught by fucking Trandoshans.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, she's basically being hunted. What's cool is that, has anyone here played Republic Commando?
Yep.
Yes. Absolutely one of my favorite games from the era.
They use the weapons.
Which
cool. They use the same Trandoshan weapons.
Nope, sorry. This is another thing I hate George Lucas for. Because George Lucas, when they were working on the Mandalorian section for Clone Wars, walks in and they're showing him all the expanded universe stuff. And he's going like, yeah, this is cool. This is pretty interesting. This is nice. This is also not what I had in mind, and throws it all out. And he turns the Mandalorians into peaceniks. They are like Japan after World War II, having been bombed back to the Stone Age. Total pacifists. They do not have commandos. They were not involved with the clones or training or anything. The entire story of Republic Commandos and all the novels that are related to those, boom, out the window in one meeting with George Lucas.
Yeah, and KOTOR.
Utterly non-canon.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, KOTOR.
The whole point was that Lucasfilm, all the Star Wars stuff was supposed to be canon. And if you're going to suddenly go, okay, I don't like it now, therefore it's not canon, what's the point?
Exactly. I mean, here's the sad part is this also happened with another episode where Yoda goes through like a sort of trial for himself, and he has to go through this Sith temple. One of the characters that was supposed to show up and actually, come to him as a ghost was Darth Revan. Like, Revan.
Who is a girl.
That would have been
fucking... Anyone says Revan's a girl. I don't care. I don't care if they change it on me. She's a girl.
Yeah, I mean, no, the Exile's a girl. Anyway.
Let's start with this.
Regardless of how Revan showed up as, it would have been really fucking cool.
Yeah, but it's just that they took the worst possible version of events in the KOTOR games and said, this is the truth. You've got Revan as a man, and then you've got the exile as a lady, so that she doesn't get the disciple as a companion, and you get stuck with the what was his name?
No, she doesn't. No, she doesn't get the handmaiden, but she doesn't. She ends up with a disciple.
Yeah, the disciple.
Handmaiden. Yeah, I loved handmaiden.
It kind of
was hilarious at some point.
Play a female exile, but whatever. If you're going to make canon genders and just it should have been female Revan, male exile with the handmaiden in hand.
Yeah, I will say it. Yeah, he is. She was kind of amusing in some cases, but like she had some interesting dialogue where there was one where she says she basically doesn't trust anyone on this ship, and you ask her, well, why don't you play Pazak with which is like their card game. Actually, it's like I'm trying to remember what game it's based off. Based off of.
You're talking about
Blackjack.
the
Blackjack.
Okay.
It's based off of Blackjack, I think.
Well, Kazakh.
Yeah.
Mm.
I think it is. Anyway, so they ask you ask her, oh, why don't you play Pazak with Adam? And then you hear in the background, Adam is arguing with T3 about how. Oh, what do you mean I lost one again? Because he keeps losing to that fucking droid. But it's good. Either way, it's kind of sad. Though I did kind of like how they did sneak in at least some references to the games. Like you see Delta Squad at some point during the. Even if it's just for a quick cameo, it's still really cool to see them. I'm glad they actually brought Commandos back.
Except that
Also,
they don't actually exist. That's
no, they
like,
did. They ended up existing.
Them, yeah, well, the thing is, the basis that they always gave for the backstory, they threw out.
Yeah, it's a shame.
So for me, it's kind of like, okay, you said that this is not legit anymore. The basis for why you have the Republic Commandos doesn't exist anymore. So why are they here?
Yeah. Though to be honest, that's more based on George Lucas than anything. And I'm just really glad to see Delta Squad again. And also the Trandoshans have their weapons from Republic Commando, which is quite cool. Like the shotgun they have, which is quite cool.
I just think that if I will not accept this new version of Star Wars lore until they bring Kyle-Katarn back.
Yeah, I will say they did bring Thrawn back.
They did, yeah.
And they're doing him justice. Like he's exactly what I expected him, what I wanted him to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like utterly tactical, and he doesn't mind losing a battle in case that means he'll win the war.
Mm.
So it's cool. The Rebels writers are actually competent.
Which actually surprised me, because the first time I saw it, I'm saying to myself, I'm looking at Star Aladdin. He has the same. It's like they use the animation, they reuse the animation and the basic character build. It's like I can understand. Okay, you want to go with essentially a heroic Middle Eastern type character. That's fine, but he looks straight up like Aladdin, and even his hair doesn't behave like anybody else's. It's like you've got Play-Doh, and everybody else that you're teamed with has regular hair.
Yeah.
Are we talking about this time?
Rebels. Yes.
Oh wow! Well, we went. Oh well, we
as a slight digression here, I've just noticed on Twitter, "Jump for Trump" is trending, where people are apparently committing suicide in protest of Donald Trump.
I knew it would happen.
I'm smelling 4chan on this one.
Hell yeah! This shit's hilarious.
Oh boy,
this shit's great. I'm okay with it.
If you weren't sufficiently out of touch with reality, try this.
Wow.
Wow.
Will it be as successful as Cut for Bieber?
I don't even know what to say about that.
It doesn't look like an awful lot of people are taking it, though. It's it's pretty impressive that someone came up with that one. And they got artwork as well. That's nice.
We have a nice T-shirt that you can buy before flinging yourself off the Brooklyn Bridge.
The sad part is, some of them would actually do it. They would totally wear. Hillary should have won. Hillary should have won. They definitely would have worn a Hillary should have won T-shirt when they jump off.
Let me get this straight. You won't leave for Canada, but you'll jump to your death instead.
People are stupid.
Oh man, it's like you know, why not just follow up on that whole going to Canada thing you guys were talking about? Oh wait, that's right. Canada said that they might not qualify.
Oh yeah, you forgot that Canada actually employs the shit Donald Trump's supposedly bringing. You know,
they just don't like it. They just don't like it because it's a Republican position.
And they realize, oh shit!
No, to be perfectly honest, it's because they have been constantly ginned up with the idea that the only reason Americans want any kind of border controls in the United States is because we supposedly hate brown people. And of course, if you're trying to emigrate to Canada, that's all white people. So if you're oppressing white people, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, they can't because. Yeah, no, they can't. I mean, they still haven't, which is kind of funny. I remember when Bro Team was making fun of them over it, like talking about how, okay, the types of people that would get accepted. That was fucking amazing.
Not you.
I just think the most amazing thing, they have these thing about, you know, like voter IDs and strict immigration policy, and then they want to go to countries which already have them.
Yeah, it's because their position is not actually based on the idea of border control. To them, it's about racism, because they believe that if you want a border control on the United States southern border, it's only because you hate brown people. That's how they have always framed it. So, yeah, that's how they sidestep the whole thing. They'll just turn around and say, "Oh yeah, we don't mind if Canada does that." So, yeah, it's a complete disconnect.
But it's just God, every single time it always happens. It's like people always make a big deal out of voter ID cards, which is a pet peeve of mine, because it's like, that does not sound like a bad idea, having an ID on you.
Well, you're only doing it because you hate brown people.
So those things in America, what's the most expensive one to get? $8 that's the most expensive state.
No. You're trying to rationalize your hatred of brown people.
Apparently so.
That's always how this goes.
If you want to see something,
it actually reminds me of studies that I made back in the day regarding pre-Civil War in the United States. When people would talk about the slave issue back in the day, they had corresponded a lot. Newspapers were very popular. We didn't even really have much in the way of telegraphs at the time. That I think was a mid-1860s invention, if I recall. Anyways, the point being, people wrote back and forth a lot. They had cotillions. They socialized with each other. They met their neighbors, and they talked politics. There came a point where you could not discuss slavery with anybody from the South, or if you were from the South, you couldn't do it with anybody from the North, because they would instantly shut you down. No, I already know your position. It's you. You know, you're a bunch of slavers. You're a bunch of assholes. Well, you're trying to oppress our economy. We depend on this cheap labor, et cetera, et cetera. Everybody was talking past each other, and that's where we're at now, and that's what bothers me.
But going to what
that didn't end well.
Yes, you kind of have wars and stuff when that happens.
Yes.
Yes. Incidentally, IGN's footage of playing Sonic Mania is absolutely amazing. No, you said they hire people who. I've just retweeted it. If you were saying earlier they hire people who don't play games, but they hire people who are good writers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're having trouble with Sonic the Hedgehog.
No, you're fucking kidding.
Okay, which Sonic? Because to be fair,
Sonic Mania
plays like shit in 90% of those games.
Sonic Mania.
Which one's that?
The new 2D one. That actually looks pretty good.
It's imagine for people that can't see it, obviously. Imagine playing you know the bit where basically you run along, you turn to a ball, and you go through the loops, right? You do the loop-de-loops.
Mm-hmm.
They're having trouble with that.
How?
They appear to be, one, they don't seem to know how momentum works. They don't seem to be able to figure out how to do the boost. And every time they get about a quarter of the way up, they press jump, so they jump away from it. IGN, everyone. IGN.
Yeah, they're legit retarded.
Anyway, now we're in the last 20 minutes. Anything anyone wanted to bring up?
Nothing much, really. I mean, I just saw a picture of, no, not a picture, but a video of an American woman on a mobility scooter that is so fat that she can't get through the door. Like, I'm not kidding. Her fucking hips, or yeah, watch this. No. Well, you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean.
All right. Show it later.
I'm sorry, it's already happening.
Oh boy.
What's going on?
I don't know. He's showing a picture of a fat woman.
Like this, look at those.
Yes, that's a fat woman. Yes, that's well, Jesus Christ, dude. How does that happen?
It's like if she leans to either side, that's it.
How does that happen? How does that happen?
See, this is what I mean.
Is this
Just fucking shutting out from both sides.
Is this what happens when the, big wolf from Little Red Riding Hood eats a fat woman? Like, your hips look awfully large today. All the better to sit down with. Something like that.
But did she just swallow someone whole?
Yeah, it's like that bit in Tom and Jerry where I think Jerry eats like an entire piece of cheese whole, and it's just like it's the triangle shape, so his body's just a fucking triangle. And
then you have the one furry in the background going, "That is my fetish."
Yeah, and this is basically the same fucking thing, I think. Either that, or she accidentally swallowed a ladder sideways.
I will
do something, and she put it in her pants, thinking it wouldn't look out of place.
Oh boy. All right, close it off. I will say that I figured out. We all talk about games companies not taking feedback, seemingly not knowing what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
In the light of some recent changes to the game Overwatch, I ventured into the Blizzard forums to see what people were saying. And can I just say, I know exactly why people don't pay attention to forums. Basically, what's happening is it's exactly the same thing that happened in World of Warcraft 10 years ago. You got people going, my character's being nerfed, I'm not happy with it, and then every single time, instead of actually any kind of conversation, there'll be the same 5 people who seem to go from thread to thread to thread to do the following things. The problem with your character / class is the fact that all the people that play them are idiots and stupid, that are overpowered. And then they complain that their characters cannot easily kill you because apparently they're superior players. So if they can't kill you easily, therefore you have to be incompetent because they don't like your character. And basically, any character they don't like should be nerfed to death. Because when we're talking about the Ana or the Diva changes, the same guy keeps turning up and talking about how he wants Bastion buffed every single thread. And there are some people who are, complaining about want to know what character is dating who. The thread that Mercy is a strong.
Oh.
There was quite a good thread that said Mercy is a strong, independent woman that don't need no man. That was a good discussion. When anyone tries to talk about gameplay mechanics, it's the same sodding people turning up telling everyone they suck. It's like, why did anyone use this forum? It's exactly the same place it was 10 years ago. Yeah, that's what I thought, guys. That's what I thought.
Jesus.
Good Lord.
I'm just saying, if this is the way that people say they don't take feedback, I'm just saying, do you see the feedback they get? You can't say anything.
What is wrong with you? There's something seriously wrong with you.
I mean, the biggest complaint I saw was a guy who mains a Soldier 76, the Call of Duty guy, basically.
Oh no.
And he is so livid that any other character has a chance against him. So it seems to be anyone kills him in a game, he comes onto the forum to complain about how the character that just killed him should be nerfed.
I hope. Actually, I want to. He must fucking hate Widowmakers.
I'm pretty sure he hits everyone that's not Soldier 76, yeah. Mercy killed me! Oh, time to go to the forums to complain that Mercy's gun is overpowered.
You see, this didn't happen in TF2 because all the characters were male, so all the slash fic was gay.
Oh yeah, of course. Well, there was no gender bending at all.
But now that you've included another gender, suddenly it's not just that you've doubled the options for shipping. It's that you've also opened the door to the white knights who want to defend the honor of a fictional character in any given discussion.
Are you referring to the Tracer butt pose post?
Amongst everything else, yes. That's just one thing. It's like you'll find people who are arguing about Diva.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, Diva's so cute. How dare you write this piece of fiction where they are dating person X? Don't you know? It's like anime fandom all over again.
I've also seen outrage over the Gremlin Diva, or how Diva is totally a Korean stereotype of some kind. It's a bit off.
I don't even own this game, but I catch the fallout from the people arguing back and forth. I can't avoid it. It shows up.
I think, yeah. And were you going somewhere with that?
No,
sorry.
It's fucking inescapable. Even if you don't have an abiding interest in the game, even if you don't own the game, it'll spill into other forums.
Is it? Oh god, it's like the bronies all over again.
Yeah, it's kind of like that, except they're not crossing it over with anything else. They're arguing about the same thing. So I could see people getting pissed off if you're talking about, say, Eastern European politics, and somebody jumps in with, you know what, Celestia and Luna make the best sisters. On the other hand, if you had Celestia would make a great imperious leader for a new Austrian empire. Okay, that's at least funny and on topic, right?
That actually be quite fucking amusing, actually.
I think that was the problem with the bronies there, because I was on 4chan when it happened, and I wasn't sure if these guys were being serious or not. Because it got so weird after a while. It was like Paul. You know, you think everyone's taking the mic, but after a while you start going,
I'm turning into them.
Totes legit.
I just had to point out an article. People are getting in a pickle over what Monster Munch shapes are really meant to be.
What?
For years, most people have believed that the favorite savory snacks, which come as in pickled onion and beef flavors, were shaped like monsters' claws. But a big debate was sparked on social media when it was pointed out that they could actually be monsters themselves with extra long arms. Why is this not?
I don't know what to say to you. I don't know what to say to you.
Actually, I am looking at them now. That does make sense. Like, that isn't that. It could be, yes.
I mean, yeah, it could look like monsters with extra long arms, but that seems kind of generic.
My face right now.
Discussing.
If you could only see my face right now.
Characters to discussing the shape of crisps and whether or not they resemble claws or these really stupid-looking monsters. How we've progressed.
I love it.
Moved on.
I love it. Yeah. I love the way that there are articles about this thing when it could quite possibly be two people talking over Twitter. That's what I love about modern.
It exploded over social media. It's two people arguing back and forth.
Yeah, which would you be happier for your child to have, a Nintendo Switch or cancer? This is a poll from Harmful Opinions. I'm clicking cancer. 42% want their children to have cancer rather than the Nintendo Switch.
Some people just really don't like their kids.
Yeah.
I do like I do like the parental for the Nintendo Switch.
I hate it.
The video that talked about it was kind of funny. Like there was a bit where Bowser, because it's all about how Bowser's actually a fucking nice dad.
How did we get to that point?
And what was funny was there was one bit where you can how to stop your kid from. They were getting onto the topic of stopping your kid from watching or playing content that they thought was inappropriate, and it starts off with like little kid Bowser playing his game, and then fucking Bowser running and putting his hands over his eyes.
Look, just because he's a potentially kidnapping rapist guy doesn't mean he's not a good dad, right?
Yeah.
Wow,
a lot of children. I think he would have learned after like 9 children how to at least, give a shit about what they watch, because after like 9 of them, he probably wants at least one of them to grow up to not be a complete freak.
Mm-hmm. Oh God, yeah, I was just doing some on the spot research.
He's going down the dark path.
Yeah, I just found I'm now on the Blizzard forums. Listen to these titles: Special Snowflake Representation. Which Overwatch character is the non-binary one? Is it Bastion? I don't get the nerfs. I don't get the nerfs. And these things always going to fuck you. Your character deserves even more of a nerf. Some guy who's going on about how Soldier 76 needs to be buffed. Yes, it's that guy again. There's a guy who keeps coming into everyone how great Paladins is. That's always interesting. Is it me or does Genji need a buff? Genji mains. Roadhog should be nerfed. Roadhog should be buffed. Justice for D.Va. D.Va is currently the big source of conversation at the moment because everyone's worried that their waifu is getting nerfed, as they should be. Why is Tracer wearing Crocs? I'm not joking. Everyone hates CP. What?
You do know what CP is.
Control points. It's control points. That's what they're talking about.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what they're talking about. I just saw that and I thought, what? What? Why do I get so much hate as Widowmaker in chat?
Oh dear.
Was that actually by Harmful Opinions?
Hang on. Let's have a look. It's not. It's not his username. It's by someone. Crasher X. Yeah, it's someone complaining that he keeps getting told to, "You're useless. GG Widow, kill yourself." A lot of asterisk out stuff. Useless. Reported. I carried you. Troll.
How bad do you have to be playing to get called a troll? And
there are people
for it.
Yeah, there's a thing that's come through that's in the zeitgeist, which is called troll picks. It's when you pick someone deliberately to lose. So basically, if you pick a character that someone else on the team doesn't like, you're called a troll picker, even though you might be earnestly trying to win.
I do that with Pyro all the time in TF2. It's like, fuck you, why are you playing Pyro? Because I like playing Pyro. Watch me set fire and die uselessly again.
I get a lot of flack because I've been playing a lot of Symmetra since the buff, and they keep telling me how crap I am. So if I'm so crap, how come I killed all of you? Because the character's over OP. It's like, you just turn and shoot her. That's how you stop her. You kill her before she kills you.
Yeah, I don't go in for all the, essentially the, how should I put it? The E-Peen routine. I don't go in for, you know what, I'm a better player than you. That's great. There's always going to be somebody better than me, though. My concern is that I'm having fun with it. And if somebody's really pissed off about how I'm playing because it doesn't suit how they think I should be playing, my fun has just become pissing them off even more. If you want to give me constructive criticism, like, hey, we could use some support up here. We need another engineer. It's like, I'll go, hey, okay. But if you come after me and go like, you motherfucker, you dumbass, I was like, okay, I've got a fish on the line.
I always think it's great when you're a healer and they're blaming you for not healing. It's like, what do you think I'm doing? It's all I can do. All I can not do to not heal is basically stand there without clicking anything. Because one time we lost the game and it was all my fault because I didn't heal everyone.
Oh yeah, that was amusing.
I'm healing the tank, and frankly, I think I'm the only person trying to do something. Because you've got these big guns, and no one is dying on the opposing team. And you're not dying immediately, fam. You're not dying immediately. I know, because I'm healing you. But there's nothing better when someone, after the game, when someone on the opposing team is screaming at you for healing too well. I always like that one. I actually got a fuck you mercy because I got someone in the chat going fuck you mercy. It was like, what?
Uh,
I wasn't.
How dare you, sir? How very dare you?
Yeah, the amount of it happens typically on a Saturday night, actually, when you get all the people playing that basically just get upset with you for winning. You're playing boringly. It's like, by shooting at you? What am I supposed to do? Just sort of like jump around and miss like you did?
That's how I'm having fun. I'm having fun by shooting things and being a shooty person.
Yes, by shooty guns. So anyway, this anything else anyone wanted to bring up before we end it for today?
I'm good.
no, I'm good.
Tarson?
Tarson died.
What, need something?
We're looking at closing up. Did you want to add anything before we do?
Not especially.
Okay.
This has been the Boilerside podcast.
Anything?
Here on what?
Why would I want to add anything?
This has been the Boilerside podcast here on the Andon Express. Hopefully we'll have artwork at some point. I'm not holding my breath. This for the Gamer of Ages, Roy Calbeck, Tarson, Dr. Evil, who ran away earlier, as did Jan. Have a good weekend, everyone. Bye.
Have a good time.